I don't want
Yep.
unilateral.
It says we're live.
It lies. If you would like to, well, keep the air conditioner on.
Yeah.
It was
might
only
hit 80 in the next day or so.
It was only below freezing yesterday, so of course it's in the 60s today. I mean, it's Texas.
Yeah.
I can tell you the soil is still frozen an inch down.
Oh, no kidding. My black heart's still frozen. Never mind.
You need more King Harps, obviously.
King Harvest Imperial Coffees. If you would like to celebrate,
Well,
I don't know.
We're celebrating.
I don't know. Texas weather. Yay. King Harvest Imperial Coffees. Let them know you heard about it from us. And Among the Leaves. If you need sarcastic and sassy t-shirts, this is your guy. AmongTheLeavesTees.com or whatever. You can see it. Again, friend of ours. If you order from him, let him know you heard about it from us.
Hello, all.
He may be making a Murphy is an optimist shirt after
He's
the
not
last
wrong.
conversation on Saturday.
Wrong.
Yeah. Well, it's Tuesday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that what day it is? Okay.
Bloody
That's
hell,
what
it
I'm
is.
here.
This is something that's been pissing me off for a long time, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Tuesday?
No,
Not wrong.
the JFK, John F. Kennedy,
All
The
right.
carrier or the
the
president?
carrier,
Okay.
Okay.
was started in 2010. We are now in 2026, and it just got underway for sea trials. Carrier was supposed to be completed in the fleet in 2022.
Well,
This is what happens when,
the POTATUS is National Command Authority?
no, this is what happens when Congress sticks their fucking paws in
Well,
and starts yanking funding around. So the keel was not actually laid until 2015. So 5 years from start to the keel laying, which should never have taken that long.
boy, World War II shipyards are not happy right now.
No,
The USS we built this yesterday is kind of upset.
yeah. Yeah, but all that sweet graft while the funding was played with. Yeah, Rick, that's a large part of it. And you and I both know how much of the money gets shifted around depending on which Congress critter gets what program in his or her area of responsibility. The sad part is the people that are taking in the shorts are the sailors, the people that are supposed to be protecting this country.
Are we not doing phrasing anymore?
I don't care about phrasing. I never have. You know that. Hell, I don't phrase anything in my books. Why should I hear? Besides which, people don't listen to us for phrasing.
No kidding, right?
Yeah. Hush, Jesse.
We have a 10-year column in a row. Ow. Ow.
No, there is no reason for it to take 16 years other than politics. Politics and funding. This is a significant issue because of the thing called op tempo and purse tempo. Op tempo is how often or how long ships are supposed to be deployed or aircraft.
There's a cardiac patient in the chat.
Yeah.
Todd,
Hey, Todd, you're here.
I'm so happy to know that you're there.
Yeah.
Since I can't say see, I can't see it.
Yeah. Well, he can't. He can see us. We can't see him. But op tempo is how often a ship or aircraft or people are supposed to be used.
Operations tempo.
Yeah. Purse tempo is how often personnel are supposed to be worked. Now, the standing joke back in the day was, you were good for 23 hours a day and you were allowed 1 hour for meals. Well,
You can't do that for very long.
you can do it for about 3 days. The upshot of that was they set these requirements, quote unquote, a number of years ago and promptly started waiving them within a year because of the quote unquote requirements to support various things like operations, exercises, bilats and trilats, which is bilateral training or trilateral training, or exercises. And there weren't enough ships and aircraft to go around. In the last 2 years, we've seen carrier deployments and small boy deployments of 10 months out of 12 with a turnaround of 6 months. So effectively, those ships, those crews never got time with their families. Yeah, Rick, 6 on, 12 off, but it was always 12 on and 6 off. And it was a rotating schedule. For us, it was, supposedly a maximum of 18-hour day. More than a few of them went much longer than that. The longest technical day we ever had was about 30 some odd hours. That was because we flew a 12-hour mission, actually a little over 12 hours, stopped and refueled in Norway, came back to Iceland, couldn't land in Iceland, had to fly to England or Scotland, sat on the ground for a couple hours in Scotland, and then flew 2 hours back to Keflavik, and finally were able to land. And it was not a pretty landing. I remember that. But yeah, 18-hour days suck. That was our norm. A 12-hour crew rest in between for 3 days, and then we went to 15-hour crew rest. Yeah. Well, JC, you're almost correct. There are boats being delivered today that have questions because of welding, among other things. Some of those boats have been pulled back and are in rework even now. Maintenance is another issue. You have things called CMAVs, or scheduled availabilities, that are supposed to take a particular amount of time, usually about 30 to 45 days. Yeah, crew rest on Sunday. Yeah, we didn't get that. It was 7 days a week. Our longest stretch without a day off was 120 days, Rick. But the CMAVs tend to slip and they get compressed. So either the crew ends up finishing the work that should have been done by the shipyard, or it doesn't get done. And then 2 or 3 CMAVs down the road, that month becomes 3 months or 6 months or 9 months. A mutual friend of ours' husband got command of a ship that was supposed to be coming out of the yards in 90 days. His command tour, he never got the ship underway. It stayed in the yards for over 18 months after it was supposed to come out. So it happens. Anyway, that's my rant for the day. So electronic spinoff from SubSafe. Yeah. The Ocean Navy is expensive and the Congress critters won't spend money required.
If I'm not mistaken, don't we have 2 carrier groups on Iran right now?
Yep. Which means we have no coverage in certain other spots in the world.
Apparently, they've already the carrier has already shot down a drone, an Iranian drone heading its way.
Yep. That was the Lincoln Battle Group. That was last night or this morning, depending on which time frame you want to use.
Interesting thing is I wrote an article about, or an essay on my Substack about not using keys for self-defense.
Yeah.
And a bunch of the, well, not a bunch, a significant number of the comments in other places where it had been linked to were talking, everybody uses fobs. Nobody does the key thing anymore. Well, today, Larry Correa pops up some idiot woman making stupid comments, and one of them was, it was teach your boys not to rape. Seriously, one of them was, we shouldn't have to put our keys between our fingers. I'm going, I just wrote an essay about that. I just wrote an essay about that.
The stupidity is strong with a lot of people out there.
My key is a little blunt.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah.
It is an oblong. Now there is a key embedded in that, but there's no way in hell I would use that as a weapon.
Yeah.
It would never have occurred to me. For one thing, I also have that one's sturdy
You
enough.
have
The other
stabby
ones are not.
things.
And other things.
You have stabby things.
Yes.
It's just that, and the friggin' thing about it is, I remember when I first heard about the, put the keys between your fingers and punch him, and I went to the guy that I heard about that, heard from him. I said, "Hey, have you ever punched a punching bag like that?" No. So, okay.
Yeah.
Then he broke a finger.
Yeah.
Because these phalanges, these digits right here, the bones are not the strongest ones in your body. And when you have metal on a bias, the bones, they go snappity snap.
Hold that still for a second. I'm going to give you a blog image. Try to get Jim out of the background. There you go. Next time you post it,
Not only that,
you're going to get that.
not only that, these things, keys, these are crayons, obviously, but pretend they're keys.
They're
Keys,
as good as keys.
they're as good as, because keys are brass. They're brass. Under the silver, they're brass. Brass is not known as a very tough metal. So after he got back and got his finger healed, next thing I heard, he was teaching, do that, but just rake them like a cat. Rake them down the opponent's face. So we had a discussion about that. He did not like the discussion. And then the last time I saw him, and I gave up, you take your key and you cradle it in your hand between your thumb, and then you use this to push and gouge. It's like,
Dude had a thing for keys.
he had a thing for keys. He really did. And I do not understand the love affair that women's self-defense instructors particularly have with damn keys.
So I used to carry my keys, all the keys, way more keys than I really should have been carrying at any one time. But you know how it is. You had a key, you don't take off a key. I used to carry them on a Stokes carabiner.
Yeah.
Not a little beaner. This was a Stokes, which is what you use for clipping onto a
real rope.
No, not a rope. It's meant for clipping on and carrying a stretcher.
Yeah.
A flat hardboard stretcher, which is because I was in at one point high angle rescue training. And a Stokes beaner is big because you have to be able to clip it onto the board. And that was what my keys were on, but I never considered using it for self-defense. It was hefty. If I smacked someone with that as kind of an abbreviated mace, hold the keys, hit them with the beaner, it might have smarted a little, but I still...
Again, let us assume that this is a key. You know what this is? This is access to armor. It is access to 75 miles of get the fuck out.
Yeah.
75 miles an hour of get the fuck out. It is access to a whole bunch of other things you can use to really bring the festivities to the party. If you bend it,
you have just now removed any chance of leaving the
you
area.
can't get into your mobile bunker.
Oh my Lord. One of my teenagers, not my son for once, one of my teenagers bent the car key in the ignition.
months.
I was not thrilled. We managed to kind of unbend it and get it out, and it wasn't a chip key, thank God.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take much. She wasn't that strong.
Yeah.
No.
Well, the other problem with all the crap that people tend to hang on the carabiners and everything else is it screws up the ignition.
Mm-hmm. Well, I stopped
Poison.
doing it,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
I have my car key has. I actually have a Toyota that you have to stick the key in the ignition. Weird, I know, but 2021, you still have to stick the key in the ignition.
Mine's a 2024 and you do not, which is very strange.
I have the key to the car and the key to the house and the key to the shop, and that's the only thing on that keychain. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. You don't need, if you don't know what the key's for, why are you carrying it?
Yep.
If you hang 18.34 pounds of keys off of the brass key stuck in your ignition, two things are going to happen. You're going to bend the brass key because brass is a malleable metal.
Yep.
Or you're going to screw up the insides of the ignition.
And 90% of the time, you're going to screw up the inside of the ignition, which means that your car will not start because you have now jiggered the mechanism, or it will get to the point, like one of the cars that I bought back years and years and years ago, that I could start it with a screwdriver because the ignition was so screwed up because the guy that I brought it from literally had a fistful of keys.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I will say, there was one time that I saw this, and he wasn't using it to drive with. We had just recently bought a conversion van, big van.
Yeah.
Because we had 3 babies and two babies and one on the way at that point. And we were carrying a bunch of gear for gigs. We show up and start to offload gear out of the van in for the show and have baby in a car seat and sleeping toddler in the back seat. So we don't pull them out, we leave them in. And my late husband managed to knock the door lock on his way out the door. So now I have 2 littles in a fortunately running and air conditioning going van.
Yeah.
And we were at a community event, so there was already like fire department there. And the fire department and the police, we suddenly have a hive of activity around our van, and they're wrapping one guy in a turnout coat, and another guy's got this little glass breaker thing, and he's hammering on the van window, and it's not breaking.
Yeah.
And this little old car, probably a Toyota Corolla, but from a very different era, pulls up, and this old guy jumps out. He's got this huge thing of keys, and he's flipping through it as he walks towards us saying, hold on, hold on. Walks up, and the second key he tried opened the van.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I used to carry a Slim Jim
Mm-hmm.
because fire department used that to open doors.
I don't know why they weren't going to try that. They were going to break out the window, but the little glass
Fire
breaker,
department.
the
Yeah.
little glass breaker thing they had wasn't doing anything to that window.
But when I
Fire
moved to
department.
Virginia, I kept my emergency kit in the vehicle
Mm-hmm.
until I talked to a friend of mine at one of our shoots one night,
Burglary tools.
and they are considered burglary tools.
Yep.
in states that have those idiot laws.
Yeah. It was like, oh, okay. Well, I take all that shit out and hope to hell nobody needs it.
No.
But yeah, even a spring-loaded center punch is considered a burglary tool,
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
which is what
It
most,
doesn't, having seen it in action, it doesn't do anything.
which
but-
most fire departments actually carry the spring-loaded center punches,
Mhm.
which will pop a window.
It wasn't doing anything.
You have to use it right, but it'll pop a window.
Yeah.
The only other car locking out kid story I have is when one of mine was like 5. She locked the vehicle, locked both of us out at the gas station.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get in touch with AAA when one of the local cops pulls up to get gas, sees me, and comes over to see what's going on because I guess he could tell that something was wrong.
Yeah.
And goes, oh, no problem. I can take care of you. And pulls out his Slim Jim and
Yeah.
gets the
Yeah.
car unlocked for me. So,
Yeah. Johnny says 2.5 pound blacksmith hammer makes a dandy Slim Jim. Yes,
Well, yes.
as long as you don't lose control of it and hit the driver in the head with it.
I used to be pretty handy with Slim Jim, but these days, with all the stuff in the door, I wouldn't try to slim open a lock.
You can still do it. It just takes a little more work.
I used to be quick with Slim
Yeah.
Jim. One lady, the parking lot at I had left Bugsville and went into Amarillo to do some shopping, and stopped off fuel at a truck stop. And some lady was freaking out because she had locked her keys in her
Yeah.
Ford pickup, baby in her, and she was freaking out. She called a locksmith, and the locksmith was obviously did not know how to use a Slim Jim. So I pulled up, got my Slim Jim out of my car, popped the lock, and she said, "Can I pay you?" I said, "No, ma'am." I said, "You're already paying the locksmith. Don't pay me." "Well, what can I do for you?" And for something got a hold of me.
Yeah.
Something got a hold of me. And I looked at her and said, "Don't tell my probation officer." I have no idea. The stories that went across her face over the next 30 seconds were great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Rick, everything out on his YouTube about using what looks like a blood pressure cuff to pry the door open and get the Slim Jim pop the lock. Those exist.
I've used them.
Yeah.
And you don't use them for the Slim Jim as much. It's a flat piece of double polymer, and it goes at the top of the door, and it creates a crack in the door, so that you get your clothes hanger in there and get it around the door handle and shim the lock rather than pick it.
Although most of the newer vehicles, the lock is now, there's no way you can really pull it up.
Can't grab it.
Can't grab it to pull it up. Which does bring up something else. Just stray thought, home security.
Yeah, that's an entire episode.
Yeah, but the garage door openers. And people will take Slim Jim or use a coat hanger to pop the garage door opener and open a garage door from the outside. The way to defeat that is to put a spot tie or tie wrap through the hole in the pull handle and wrap it over where the lock point is. And then they can't Slim Jim it or get it from the outside.
Most of your overhead doors these days there's a hole in the track and a hole somewhere and a loop on the door, and there's a bolt that goes through it, and you have to trust me. If you hit your automatic door opener and that deadbolt's engaged, you will tear up a motor.
Yeah. Yeah, garage door opener and registration in the glove compartment. Oh yeah. The two sins that but a lot of the states want to see your registration.
I don't know why.
Which has your address on it.
I don't know why. They're running a 1027 on your license plate, which has the registration. It gives you the address. I mean, every time they run your plate or your
I always assumed it was to make sure that you had a current registration.
Yeah, but it still shows your address, which is
Well, yeah.
well, it's like the people that park cars at these airports. You know, the fly by night, park 4 miles away. Blue dot,
long-term parking.
blue dot or red dot or whatever long-term parking, that leave their house keys and their registration and everything else in the car when they hand over the keys.
Mm-hmm.
So people get,
Yeah.
It's not hard to go down and get a key made.
No.
If you think you're going to do ballot, I have this nifty little thing. It's a couple of rare earth magnets with loops on either end. And if I figure I'm going somewhere that there's going to be a valet, I'll take that. I'll put the car keys on one, and my house key and everything else on the other, so that I can pop them apart and just hand the
Yep.
car key to the valet.
Yep.
Because valets are punks. They're criminals. They are not good people. And if you leave your house key,
That right there.
if you leave your house key, they will get a wad of chewing gum or plasticine, and they can make a copy of your house key.
Yeah.
Stop it.
We don't know who the valet are. Yeah. That has happened more than one place.
Oh yeah.
The all-time best one though is still England, the parking guy.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know the story, this parking lot or this empty lot across from something, I think it was a hospital, but don't quote me on
Yeah.
that. One day, a gentleman showed up in a yellow shoot me first vest and a chair and a valet parking or a parking sign, and started collecting fees for parking. And everybody assumed the city sent him. And he collected fees every day for 20 something years. And one day he just didn't show up. So the hospital, whatever, freaked out and they called the city and said, "Hey, you can send a new parking guy over?" And they said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "The parking guy the parking lot." They said, "We don't have a parking guy on that parking lot." Some mad lad collected parking fees for over 20 years and then buggered off probably to the Gold Coast.
Spain.
Retired in luxury.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, New World Warrior. You're as old as I am. You used to have
Yeah.
have to have it visible from outside the car. That was state law back in the day.
That's my hero. Hey, rain or shine. Apparently they loved him. They gave him gift cards because he was always there,
Yeah.
always polite. Nobody's cars got dinged.
Bristol Zoo.
Was
Thanks,
Bristol Zoo?
Steve.
There was something. Hey,
That's what I love about our chat
yeah, right.
is if we don't know it, the people in there can find it in less than a minute.
Yes.
Bristol, yeah. Send somebody else. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
For the paid parking, we don't do that.
Yeah.
God bless him. That's the sort of yo ho ho capitalism that I like to see.
Oh, speaking of capitalism, did you hear the pushback that Billie Eilish is getting now?
Oh
After
my
her
gosh.
comments at
What
the
does that
Grammy?
little heifer got to do
The
with?
snark on X
Oh, dear.
is epic.
Oh no. Now there is a indigenous tribe who's going after her, wanting her property.
Yeah, well, she said.
What the stupid little
It was
bitch
one of
say?
those land things of we do not own the land. It belongs to the indigenous peoples, and they have taken her seriously, and I think that they should.
Yeah.
I will guarantee you that daft little heifer has a wall around her house.
Oh yeah.
And she didn't mean a word she said.
Yeah.
But she said it, and now they're going to hold her
She said
to it.
there's nobody illegal on stolen land, and we're all on stolen land.
Well, she got the last half is right.
Yeah.
Yes, every bit of land out there was stolen from at least one cycle, if not more.
Yeah.
Oh no, more than one cycle.
Yeah.
More than one.
Yeah.
No bussy is illegal in stolen land or whatever. Shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah.
You have a wall around your house, you silly little bimbo.
Yeah, they aren't indigenous here either any more than any other place. Just been here longer. All those tribes, yes, we're stealing from each other from day
Yes.
two.
Oh yes. There were layers of peoples whose names we do not remember, not even in myth and legend, that were here before the next layer that we also do not remember.
The green eyes, pale skin, red hair, Picts in Scotland.
Yeah.
Scotland, the Scots are Irish.
Yes.
They moved over from Ireland
Dal-
into Pickland,
Dalrida.
Dalriada, into Pickland, and took over from my ancestors.
Yeah.
I need to hand you that Riddles in the British Landscape book I just recently finished. You'll enjoy it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Tyler, don't use the picks. Scots, go home.
And I'm sorry I brought it up.
I'll distract him. Here you go, Ian. Quick, a distraction. I was.
Ew. No. Yes.
Oh, that's good to know. Actually, this is probably a more helpful sorting. I was showing the pepper seeds to my husband.
Yeah.
And asking him, honey, what should I plant this
Yeah.
year? And the answer was evidently all of them except for this one.
Oh, why do you have these?
Yeah.
It was a free gift. It was sent to me.
You know why it's free? Because nobody will buy it.
Yeah.
When the seed packet says stuff like vicious heat.
Yeah.
Blazingly hot.
Yeah.
I didn't realize these were in the wild. They were used to be extremely hard to find, and these are wonderful little peppers.
Yeah, and again, with those were my free gift this year when I did a seed order. I'm definitely going to plant those. So he's saying no on the.
I'm not.
Those are Basque,
That could be interesting.
right? And again with it was, I tend to go through the catalog looking at the sweet peppers. I do not like the flavor of bell peppers, so I won't grow them.
Bell peppers aren't bad.
I just don't like the flavor.
Yeah.
I would rather grow any other kind of sweet peppers.
Yeah.
And occasionally buy a bell pepper when my husband wants bell pepper. But this is amusing to
You've
watch
got
him
some
go
really
through.
good. These will be lovely.
I just started a round of those
These,
today.
they're called sweet. They're called sweet peppers.
Yeah.
Aji dolce. They're really good.
I've never heard of a black creme tomato.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
great.
I've grown black crims. They're lovely.
Okay.
They're very, very deep purple.
Okay.
So
And these are glorious little peppers. They really are, and they're a mild sweet pepper. Very nice. When she described these to me Saturday night, I didn't realize that they were getting common stateside. I really didn't. These are.
So here's the thing. I ordered a lot of these from Baker Creek, which specializes in rare and heirloom seeds.
Yeah.
So they may not be common, but Baker Creek does the offbeat stuff, which is why I order a lot from them. Because
I thought she was describing lemon drops, which are my favorite, or one of my, but they're 50 SHUs. These are like 1,000. These are very mild, very lovely peppers.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to growing those.
Oh, the idiot woman on the red carpet with the.
I saw that, and I saw that, and I checked out. I did. I checked out.
You know, that is the equivalent for a woman of a guy watching a groin shot.
Yep.
And I'm just looking at that going, numbing agents or something.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
If she had hung that dress on anything,
If she had stepped on it,
yeah, the screaming would have been epic. And the blood would have been everywhere.
Yeah, no, I mean, Ian talking about rings and avulsions and
Yeah.
deglovings.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a very peppery season, evidently, since my husband wants one of everything.
I am quite honestly rather highly chuffed that my liking for peppers is spreading.
Yeah.
Well,
Some of us have liked peppers before you ever thought about it.
and I've lived a lot of places where it was difficult to grow a pepper to maturity. We had such short growing seasons.
Everybody except me can grow a pepper maturity around here, but the stress level makes all of our peppers scorchingly hot.
If I can manage to water my peppers regularly, which I'm going to set up a drip timer, then I should be able to get some milder peppers.
What in the hell differs?
What?
New Mexico is attempting to pass more gun laws to make more than 10 rounds illegal. Gas-operated semi-autos illegal. breech loading illegal, bolt action, shotgun, single and double action, all
Well,
illegal.
They can do
Okay,
that. They can do-
just because somebody brings a bill to the table doesn't mean it's
Thank
gonna
you.
pass
you.
because,
Well, in Virginia, that shit's going to pass because
Well,
that's
all
Virginia.
Democrats. now.
That's because they elected a shit ton of communists.
Yep, they got what they wanted.
Y'all voted for this shit.
Yep. Just like New York City. 13 dead. In the homeless.
Apparently, it was much like walking from your hotel to the airport in the Sudan.
Yeah.
Except colder.
Or in Italy.
Just stepping over dead bodies on the sidewalk.
Yep. And trash. But now, I will admit, in Italy, the trash was higher. It was 2 stories of trash.
oof.
But that's Italy,
Yeah.
not New York City. Apparently, if I read the story right, the trash guys got the mayor's block.
Yeah. Nothing else. Which is what happened in Naples, too. So, same thing.
Tiff, somebody, I think it was Tiff, said she can't eat jalapenos. We can fix that.
Yeah.
Yes, jalapenos are probably too hot. 5,000, 10,000 SHUs. That's why I introduced Cedar to TAM, Texas A&M TAM cultivar jalapenos, which are about 1,000 SHUs. And then there are what they call jalapenos, which I forget who's made that. Burpee, I think, has something called jalapeno, which is a jalapeno with about 500 SHUs. So we can get you jalapenos without the heat. Trust me on this one.
All of them signed a 4-year compact all but 4 signed a compact refusing to enforce the last gun laws. That's
nice.
good, Kermit.
Tiff, the jalapenos this year have all the peppers this year
They've been a little warm.
have been woo. It's been a rough year for peppers, and stress on peppers. Cedar can speak more to this than I can. Stress on peppers, the growing, tends to concentrate the capsaicin wonderfully.
Yeah.
And
Well,
this year, damn.
So peppers are spicy because it's pest control.
Yeah.
They're trying to prevent things from eating peppers.
Then a
Humans,
Turtle Apes come
being the
along.
perverse beings that we are, find this exciting and our mouth gets tingly, and so
Yeah.
we eat the spiciest peppers we can find.
Yeah.
However, if a pepper is under stress, they will front load the capsaicin towards preventing what few fruits they can put on from being eaten, and therefore the line ends with them, which is not a good thing. So if you are like this last summer, it was a very wet spring and then it got dry and it just stayed dry. And as that was affecting the ripening of peppers, they got a little spicier than they would normally because it was dry.
Yeah.
And at least in my garden, I was not watering as regularly as you need to do if you want nice sweet peppers.
Well, I can vouch for that because the Viet father we go visit,
Mm-hmm.
I normally eat the jalapenos
Mm-hmm.
because he won't touch them.
Right.
And I would get 2 bites in and start sweating.
Well, the jalapenos this year were lovely, fat, bright green jalapenos. They were absolutely gorgeous. So Rita and I got some takeout nachos from Taco Casa, favorite nachos.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, hell, they're the pickled jalapeno for nachos.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about those. I got a triangle and some nacho and blue nacho cheese through my nose.
Ow.
That jalapeno was bloody hot. Every one of the nacho jalapenos this year has just been screamingly hot.
How about the Hatch chilies?
Hatch chilies were a little warm too.
The mild Hatch chilies were hot. And I didn't get any of the hot ones, and I'm glad I didn't.
No, the Hatch chilies this year were spiky.
Yeah, Tiff. They were fat and plump, no cracks, and nothing to signify they were hot.
Look like, I mean, they were lovely, fat, green, shiny.
Until you bit into them.
You bit into them and they set your teeth on fire. Yeah. So you shouldn't do that. Jalapenos are the upper level for a lot of people. I would say, quite honestly, jalapenos are the upper level for most people. At 5,000 SHUs, I'm willing to bet this year's crop top 15,000.
Yeah. Differs. Mine are currently not hot because they're in the freezer. That does not affect the taste, I hate to tell you.
And the thing that makes me nervous is 2025's crop of nice, fat, green, bright, sparkly jalapenos is going to be 2026's chipotles and dried.
Yeah. It's going to be hot.
I'm a little concerned about what's coming down the pike as far as my chipotle peppers are concerned.
For those of you that don't know, a chipotle pepper is a smoked dried jalapeno pepper. There's several chilies.
Most Latin American peppers have two versions.
Yeah.
The one that comes off the vine and one that's been dried and or smoked.
Yeah, Greg, you go right ahead with the Scotch bonnets.
She's got some habanadas there. Habanada is a habanero.
A sweet habanero.
It's a habanada is a hab without the heat. It's like a jalapeno or a tam jalapeno. They bred for low SHUs and they have such a lovely flavor.
I don't know that I have a picture of them here, but the sweet bonnets are in there. I haven't grown. Here we go. These are the habanadas. So I haven't grown the sweet bonnets yet. Those are the habanadas I grew last year. So that's a sweet version of the Scotch bonnet.
And I love that. I've never had habanadas before. I love it because it illustrates what I've been saying the entire time is that since peppers are berries, they have distinct flavors.
Yes.
Yep.
And you can taste, if you get a tam jalapeno or a jalapeno and habanada, you can taste the difference in pepper. You can taste the difference in the berry. What is Aleppo pepper? Aleppo pepper. Okay, Aleppo is a city in Syria. Due to a whole bunch of cultural appropriation, the European voyagers appropriated peppers from South America. And then a whole bunch of Arab traders appropriated peppers from the Europeans. Yes, every pepper you've got was brought to India or Thailand or wherever by Europeans. Deal with it. So the Aleppo guys, they've got these lovely purple peppers. And the Aleppo is both the name of the pepper and the process because it's a very distinct process. What they do is they pick the peppers when they're ripe and they set them out in the sunlight to dry most of the way. Then they pack them in salt and oil to dry out the rest of the way. Mm-hmm. And then once they're completely dry and they're this lovely dark purple, they de-seed them and chop them up. So you get about 3,500 SHUs, and they've got this raisiny, the overtones of raisin. It's a salty, oily pepper. And quite honestly, if you put red pepper or anything on pizza or anything that you put the crushed red pepper on, buy some Aleppo. Just trust me. Aleppo pepper it's about as hot. The red peppers that you put on pizza, the crushed red peppers are supposed to be Calabrese peppers. Calabria peppers. Calabria peppers are kind of hot. The Aleppos are a little milder, but they have these lovely, salty, oily raisin overtones. I'd use Cedar. Bloody hell.
Cedar.
I'd use Cedar to Aleppo pepper.
That is not the first time I've been called Caesar.
Yes, it's a peck of purple peppers.
Yep. Every chili pepper out there in Africa, in Arabia, in India, in China, they all came because Europeans decided to steal chili peppers from the South Americans.
Yep, Silk Road in reverse.
Yep, but like I say, they're packed in oil and salt to dry out, and then when they're totally dry, they're de-seeded and chopped, and it's a lovely flavor. It really is.
Unlike the little Thai peppers.
Oh my gosh.
They are just flat ass hot.
Yes.
You have to be careful with those.
Oh, yes.
Aleppo peppers these days are generally not from Aleppo, because Aleppo's in Syria, and Syria is a trifle sporty these days. The production of Aleppo peppers these days is out of Turkey. And quite honestly, I prefer the Turkish Aleppo pepper because there's a lot more standardization, and Aleppo tended to have you didn't always get the same thing twice.
Yeah.
The Turkish version is a lot more standardized.
Well, that's about like going to Chewy's and
No kidding.
taking a chance on the dip.
On the salsa.
Yeah.
Woo!
What's the salsa going to be like today?
Yeah. If it's green, don't touch it till you have a drink in hand.
Yeah, Nancy, yes. There is a cultivar called Aleppo. It's a purple pepper. There is a cultivar, but the Aleppo you get, it has to go through a process.
Yeah. It's all about preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, and this is kind of what's fun about ordering from the Baker Street seed catalog, is that they've got peppers from all around the world.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, though, which is those peppers were bred in that location. And what you're going to get when you plant it wherever you are, since you're likely not there, is I have a pepper called a manganiji, which is a Japanese cultivar. And I am sure that what I plant and grow here in Texas is going to be nothing like what a Japanese gardener planting the same seeds would get.
I grew some shishitos the year before y'all came here. I grew some shishitos, which are a little Japanese mild pepper. They were not mild.
Yeah.
Because Texas.
I'm not going to grow them again because, damn.
Yes, Greg. English conquered the world for spices and then refused
Never
to
used them. Never used them.
Yeah. Now
Johnny, that would be a long pepper. Johnny says there's a little Mex place in Hickson, pepper that tastes like punched up cracked black pepper. Probably a long pepper.
Yeah.
Huh. Long pepper's African, so why they'd be using an African joint, I don't know, but that's interesting.
I gave her some long pepper.
Yes. And I have used it in a couple of things.
I've got half a pound of that stuff because I use the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave me some, and I'm still trying to figure out where I'm putting it in. I need to empty out one of my grinders and put it in a grinder.
Long pepper used to be the pepper of the world.
Yeah.
It's basically a long little seed pod, and it was the pepper. When people talk about pepper back in the Middle Ages, long pepper's what they're talking about. We didn't start using the
peppercorns.
Yeah, the telecherry till way later on.
Well, again, because long pepper is African, so you could get it in Europe, versus the telecherry, which is Indian. And after the Silk Roads had stopped for a while, it wasn't something you could get.
Ras El Hanout. Okay. Okay. Ras El Hanout is a Maghrebi word that means top of the shelf. And this is the I've lost a word. Squirrels, close to fuck. It implies this is the best of the best.
Yeah.
It's not. Okay. When you sell spices by the ounce and the pound, if you ever go into a Moroccan souk, you'll see these lovely cones of spices. Well, Moroccan merchants aren't stupid. When they've sold all of whatever and they've got that little dusting left that nobody's going to buy, they'll take that 3 or 4 pinches, they put it in a jar. And they just, every time they sell out and they're down to the dust and nobody buy, they tap the dust into the jar. So you get this, eventually a jar full of 10,003 different spices.
Yeah.
So you get, and then if you're a canny Moroccan merchant, you tell the first sucker that comes by, oh, this is Ras El Hanout, the secret stuff. Yeah.
It's leftovers.
It is leftovers, and it's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I will caution you, if you go to the Maghreb, and they don't like you, they will serve you stuff with Ras El Hanout, and they will grind up beetles in it. Don't eat that.
Yeah.
Don't eat that.
Yeah. And if you go to Morocco, do not get the brownies in the souk.
I like them.
Yeah, if you want to get high.
I like them. No, that's no. They've got this big long. It's all bullshit. This big long story about it's all bullshit. What it is the leftover
Leftovers.
dust, and no Berber merchant worth his salt, pun intended, is going to let that go away. He will use it for so he just dumped it into a jar. And when the jar folded up, oh boss, Ras Al Hanout, it is the top, it is the best, the best.
And if you ever look at the jar real closely in the sunlight, the colors change.
You can see the
You
levels.
can see the levels or layers. The beetles are free protein. Yeah, that's true.
It's the beetle shells. It's bright green, and there are some acids in there that will screw up a white man.
Yeah.
Ask me how. Don't ask me how I know.
Eating insects is just a bad idea because that's how you get parasites.
But that's what a lot of people want us to do. Eat bugs. They're good for you.
Well,
They're protein.
Well, they are high protein,
Yeah.
yes, but it's not
You're
how
not
I would
going there.
elect to get my proteins.
and it's the wing cases because there's lovely jewel green color. So it's the wing cases they grind up. They don't actually put the bug in there. They take these.
The elytra, that's what the wing cases are called.
Okay. Learn
Now
something new every
Now
day.
you knew it. Now you know
So
a new
you have
word.
these green sparkles, these green flecks in your Ras Al Hanout, which makes it super special. And if you're a Berber, your guts fine. The parasite's already there will kick its ass. If you're a European, you're screwed.
So they used to take those shiny green beetle wings and sew them onto fabric. There's some very famous Victorian era dresses that are covered in beetle wings and they
Yeah.
shimmer.
Oh, I'm sure they're fantastic,
it-
but nobody's going.
No. But it's like sequins before sequins were a thing.
Yeah. Before stripper dust.
Before stripper dust, yes. Powdered beetle wings, stripper dust, same thing. I mean, I'm assuming somewhere in the souk, someone covers themselves in powdered beetle wings
Yeah.
because it shimmers.
Well,
People will pay $75 more for
the women that were using lead in their makeup to brighten, whiten their faces.
Lead in their makeup,
Yeah.
belladonna in the eyes. Belladonna in the eyes was done until shockingly recently. Jim, there are still cosmetics sold these days with mercury in it because it's a skin whitener.
Yeah.
And there are places in this world where skin lightening is big business. And they put some nasty stuff.
Oh yeah.
Arsenic. And there's some stuff in cosmetics that'll curl your hair.
Nancy.
Yeah.
U.S. FDA has rules for Ras Al Hanout in the U.S. So there's a standard list of spices that.
Well, because we have to here in the U.S. we have to label what's in there.
Yeah.
And you couldn't do that with the souks method unless somebody was keeping notes all along, and they don't strike me as that kind of shopkeeper. But in the US, you are required to label the ingredients in order of quantity from the most to the least until you get to the 1% line. And after the 1% line, you can put it in whatever order you want, which is why something that's in there at 0.0001% is listed immediately after the 1% line. So to make you think there's more of it in there.
Yeah, John, what they use to bleach flour.
Yeah. But Ras Al Hanout has, if you've labeled Ras Al Hanout, there's a list of spices. You either take everything on the list or a lot off the list, and don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Find the blend you like and use it.
Yeah. Well, it's like pumpkin pie spice. Everybody is all about the pumpkin pie spice. But here's the thing, which is what pumpkin pie spice actually is. It is not pumpkin, first of all.
Yeah.
It's a blend of pie spices. It's usually the same blend that's used in apple pies. So it could be called apple pie spice.
Yeah.
But normally it's cinnamon heavy, and then it has a whole list of other things. And if you look at pumpkin pie spices, different brands have different spices in it at different quantities. So you can literally have a favorite brand because it's going to be different than all the other brands. And
Which guarantees you will never find it again.
right. Oh my gosh.
There's,
But it also means you can make it yourself.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to remember the. Hang on, I gotta look something up.
So, I mean, Dorothy Grant introduced us to making pumpkin pies with garam masala
Yeah.
in it because garam masala, which is a base Indian spice that's used in a lot of things, is very, very close in composition to pumpkin pie spice.
Yeah.
There's like one or two flavor notes that are different. And it's really fun in a pumpkin pie. Totally not what you're expecting, but also close.
It's good.
So, yeah, it's good. Well, that's the fun thing about spices is that people get into ruts with them.
Yeah.
And because we have access to so many of them these days, you can do all kinds of different blends and combinations.
Yeah. Rick says a family recipe has mace in the pie spices instead of cinnamon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mace is one of those things that has fallen out of favor and use here in the US. And I think the reason is because mace and nutmeg.
This is the one I prefer from New York Shook.
Mace and nutmeg are two parts of the same fruit.
Yeah.
The mace is a membrane that wraps around the nut, which is the nutmeg. So their flavor is close. It's not the same. But I think that a lot of cooks were like, I'm not going to bother with adding, I'm not going to bother with buying an extra spice, adding an extra spice. I'll just put nutmeg in.
Yeah.
And so mace has fallen out of flavor and you don't see it as much in recipes, except for mine, because I like mace. So I try to make point of adding it into my recipes.
Well, and it's also the change in recipes. I've got recipe books that go back to the 1800s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've got Cajun recipes
Mm-hmm.
that are significantly different than what you see currently. Spices are different.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because of availability.
Right. Right.
That's what people tend to forget.
Mm-hmm.
Is it was not so much what the taste was; it was what the available spices were.
For a lot of for both Jim and my families going back, if you couldn't find the grocery store in the red and white McCormick tin, rectangular tin, you didn't use the spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that you see a shift because you and I both have a lot of these old cookbooks all the way up through. You see a shift in cooking styles in a couple of different eras.
Mm-hmm.
There's shifts when things like oven thermometers came in, but the significant shifts are the Great Depression.
Yeah.
And that changed cooking drastically. Because you couldn't afford a lot of ingredients. So you learned to make do with what you had or what you could grow. And then the other shift is immediately post World War II, even arguably into World War II while it was going on, because unlike England, America didn't have as much rationing.
Yeah.
But at Victory Gardens, we're still emphasized in growing your own foods and stuff. But more importantly, the dynamic of the family and work life changed post World War II.
Very much so.
So your recipes change as well. So you've got a lot more pre-prepared stuff that's being combined, and that's the recipe. Where before it would have been from scratch from your basic ingredients, and you had to process it to get there.
Yeah, and I can remember because both my grandmothers and my mother lived through both the Depression and the wars.
Mm-hmm.
We always had a truck garden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everywhere we lived until I went off to the military, we had a truck garden.
Mm-hmm.
And we grew probably 90% of the vegetables that we ate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy vegetables until I was off on my own.
Yeah.
And we did our own canning.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking 10 or 15 jars.
No.
I'm talking 50 or 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes a lot of food to keep a family running.
Yeah.
Canning became almost a lost art. There's become more interest in it in recent years, along with some shockingly terrible internet recipes because canning is very precise. And I'm not usually a precise cook, but there's some things that people do when they're calling it canning, and I'm like,
Yeah.
But the thing that most people don't realize is that to be self-sufficient, growing all of your own food is a hell of a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's actually
Yeah.
less work to go off to a job 40
Yeah.
hours a week and buy it at the grocery and bring it home. And most people are not prepared for that level of work.
Well, and that brings up another point too. Going back to my grandmother and my mother,
That was their job.
that was their job.
Yeah.
And grandma, she was in her 90s, and she would still get up 4:30 in the morning to start cooking breakfast.
Yep.
Well, and
And
also,
when she finished breakfast, she would start on lunch
Yep. You clean up and you get started on the next
and then
meal.
start on dinner.
Yeah.
it was also a regional thing.
Yeah.
My mother's mother, who remembers the Titanic, grew up in my mother grew up in Electra, Texas. That's where Gran cooked ham, biscuits, pork chops, steak. She used salt and pepper and Worcestershire sauce.
Yep.
Canned green beans, canned corn, and hoop cheese. And that was the extent when my father, mom told a story when my father cooked the first gumbo for a grand and granddad.
They wouldn't eat it.
Well, they wouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
Because it was, I hate to say meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
But it was very white bread, meat and potatoes.
Well, and that's the thing too that a lot of people don't understand is that just because women had to cook didn't mean that they either knew how or liked it. So if they were busy with other things, you're going to keep your meals pretty basic because you don't have time for that nonsense.
And then I came home, and I like to cook, but I cooked Dad's Cajun recipes. I cooked Maghreb recipes, European recipes, and up until the day she died, Nana would try a little, tell me how good it was, and then I'd see her feed it to the dog under the table. Because she grew up on plain red-eye gravy, ham steak, and that's what, even when she could afford to buy something else, she didn't, because that's what you ate. And everybody in Electra was about the same damn way till the Mexicans moved in. And we started getting Mexican food. Nana wouldn't eat Mexican food. It's too hot.
Yeah.
Zwolle, Louisiana, Zwolle tamales. Got started because of the Mexicans that came in to work on the oil field in that area. And the wives would make tamales for their husbands to take to lunch.
Because it's the original packing workman's food.
Yeah. And my dad talked about first time he'd ever had a tamale was when he was working in that oil field putting a pipeline in. But that grew to the point that there became an entire enclave in Zwolle, Louisiana that's Hispanic. To this day, they sell tamales all over the world.
It's a good tamale.
It's a good tamale, yeah.
But and also, I would not eat anything pork except for pork sausage and bacon, breakfast sausage, until I met Rita, because my grandmother taught my mother if it was pork, it had to be done well done.
Yeah.
It had to be
critter.
What my brother referred to as, oh, look, pork pucks again.
Which has to come back to the parasites. It has its roots in the concerns about parasite load, which because pigs were often fed scraps and slops, and so they were actually fed offal and bits from other butchered animals. So in addition to they'll pick up parasites on their own, they were being fed sometimes stuff that was already had parasites in it.
So,
and we've wasted another hour of your time, folks.
Rita introduced me to a meat thermometer and the proper temperature for pork, and I love pork. I didn't used to, but it's because she learned to cook. She learned to cook it right.
Books.
Oh gosh, my latest is tomato worm, which involves food, tomatoes, and a young woman who's inherited a house that comes with surprises. And then the Rack Press release of the day would be our first historical boys novel,
Yes.
A Boy Against the Boxers.
Really excited about this one.
Yeah, so it popped out #1 in 2 categories already immediately.
It's actually historical. So they're
Yes.
buy it for your sons so that they can learn history while they're having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Books like that, living history books like that, are fantastic for teaching history. And this is the Boxer Rebellion in China, which is not something that's commonly written about. So we're really excited that this is something that Jacob Sharp brought to us.
And he said he has another one. So.
And then in the next day or so, the third and final book of the Valley of Fire trilogy from John Van Stryve.
Who was in the comments earlier.
Lock and Load. That one will be ready for pre-order tomorrow, I believe, since I'm the one in charge of that. And Jim, you got anything?
I don't have any of mine, but Jim Butcher's 12 Months dropped earlier this week.
Yeah, and heard it's very good. I'm 3 books behind, so don't talk to me about.
Yeah, I've got to catch up.
Yeah.
But I've been hearing really good things about 12 Months.
It is good.
Apparently, there's a couple of trolls going around the Jim Butcher fan sites saying how bad it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
I will say there is a cliffhanger.
of course, it's Jim Butcher.
It's true.
Butcher.
I mean,
And on that note, folks, we're going to call it a day.
Y'all be safe.
Y'all be safe. Have a good week. Remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff. And we'll see you Thursday.
Very